What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today is February the 13th. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers and what big money is doing today. Before we get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So it has been a while since I've done a video. So for those of you that kind of noticed, I did take 1 week off all my channels. I did a quick trip, but looking at the market, it was a crazy roller coaster, and today is going to most likely continue that, largely based on CPI. So CPI is coming in at 7:30, so right before the bell, and that could really move the market and have the market's mentality of a March cut really on the table or not. And I feel like the market needs something right now to really get it out. There is some good earnings that did come out after hours yesterday that potentially might cause a little bit of optimism, but as far as today, it is going to be all CPI. Fear and greed index is under the fear category, so meaning people's appetite for risk in theory isn't really on the table. Of course, typically what we've seen in the past is us bounce off of the extreme fear, go back to the greed. So there might be a little bit more downside in theory, but I think that what's happened over the last month is largely unjustified and really kind of snowballing out of control. Currently, futures are somewhat stagnant. So Dow is down 0.23, S&P down 0.18, NASDAQ down 0.14. We are also seeing fairly low volume. So of course, I think big money is just waiting for CPI to come out to give the green light for us to really move in. If not, then yeah, you might see a little bit of a tentative sell-off. Getting right to it, SoFi is down 0.98% during this morning, or now 1.35%. Nothing really coming out as far as news. Last thing that did come out of any kind of worthwhile to bring up was Tanner's interview. Kind of signals that SoFi is at a pretty deep discount, which arguably it is, but nonetheless, as far as today, nothing really coming out. We also do have a long weekend, so the markets are closed on Monday, and historically when that does happen, you see a little bit of a sell-off going into kind of power hour, as institutions will want to sell just in case something comes up over the weekend, because now anything is possible. Who knows? But as far as shorts, 8.7% of the free floats being shorted, works to be 109.82 million shares overall being shorted. I know this might be rather kind of frustrating to see, the fact that shorts haven't really done all that much. If anything, they've actually returned since mid-January, but yet the stock price has gone nothing but down. So shorts aren't the culprit on why SoFi is going down. It is legitimately institutions selling, which is again very unfortunate. But for today, with it right now at 1907, it is currently trading between this S2 and this S3. So 1744 and 2033 is going to be the next strong support and target. Moving on, NIO, surprisingly, I know yesterday it went down 2.3%, but it's been doing fairly well given the circumstances. Nothing really crazy for news. Stay tuned for my dedicated NIO video later today. Shorts are returning 1.26 million shares during the pre-market, so that's always a good thing to see. 7% of the free float is being shorted, works to be 142.75 million shares overall being shorted. So the fact that we're now at 7%, I'm sure a lot of people might be rather kind of frustrated similarly about that, because shorts were able to really return a significant amount, yet there hasn't been any naked or kind of any squeeze. I know a lot of people were really wanting NIO to squeeze to like $20, $30 and stuff like that, and I think even that was NIO 100 was trending. So it is what it is, but nonetheless, one thing that I've noticed is shares on loan has jumped up quite dramatically. Still some signs of naked shorting, so there's more shares being shorted than on loan, so that definitely shouldn't happen. Right now with it at 495, it is trading between this R1 and the pivot. 485, just watch for that to hold today, and then in theory 520 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. With today being Friday, just watch for that $5 mark. That's always a key pivot for NIO, especially based on the options. So market makers and shorts might wake up a little bit during, if it does kind of retest that $5 range. Moving on, Rivian is up 20+% because of their earnings. So pretty phenomenal stuff. So they did essentially have a triple beat. So they beat on earnings per share, beat on revenue, and they did give some fairly good guidance. I know some bears are kind of saying that the guidance is a little bit weak. I think that's pretty good overall. So Rivian targets 62,000 to 67 for 2026. And so yeah, I think a lot of big things are going to be coming for Rivian over the next several years. So it's going to be a bumpy ride, but looks like they are kind of on the path to really move higher. 18.1% of the free float is being shorted, works to be 146 million shares overall being shorted. With it right now at 1687, it is trading between this R1 and the pivot. So 1673 is going to be that key support that you really want to watch for Rivian to hold today. If not, then you could see some consolidation, but I don't see this 1427 being hit pretty much anytime soon. Similarly, that 1920, I don't really see that being hit. If it can stay above this 1673, then in theory, over the next week, possibly week and a half, you could see this 1920 being hit. But that, I think, in that to happen, you need the market to really kind of move higher. Pinterest, I have no idea why a lot of people like Pinterest. From the get-go, I've said that this is nothing but a sell. I don't really see this being a viable business. It really needs to have a massive haircut, even given what has happened. So they did have their earnings and it was a triple miss. So they're down about 20+%. Shorts are increasing 277,000 shares, 5.08% of the free float is being shorted, works to be 30.02 million shares overall being shorted. And shorts have actually started to get in a little bit more. So maybe they kind of knew the writing was on the wall. But right now with at 1465, it is trading between this S2 and this S3. So 1316 is going to be the next strong support. Potentially could be hit over the next couple trading days. Then 1974 is going to be that next strong target / resistance, which again, if the market does correct and start to move higher, that could be on the table. But I think just based on the earnings and the guidance that they did give, writing's kind of on the wall that this isn't going to be the massive grower that a lot of people were really expecting. Coinbase, so they are surprisingly in the green, and they did put out the earnings after hours yesterday. It wasn't the greatest, so top and bottom line they did miss, but they gave good future guidance. So clearly the market's really prioritizing that over anything. Shorts aren't doing anything right now, but 9.24% of the free float's being shorted, works to be 20.8 million shares overall being shorted. With it right now at 147, you just want to watch for that 144 to hold. If not, then yeah, you could see further consolidation, ultimately possibly to that 136 range, but 171 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. And again, I think based on their earnings, they did miss on both the top and bottom. It shows that there is some things aren't going really right for it, but with their buyback announcement and a couple other things, that's what the market seems to really like. So let me know your thoughts on these stocks. Are you buying anything right now? Are you kind of selling, hedging? What are you generally doing? One final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades. Worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.